What is going on, everybody? It's Nerdicane back here again doing another video. Man, it's been a weird morning. So, I did a review 2 days ago on the worst comic of 2019. I guarantee it's going to be the worst comic because it's terrible. But somebody took issue with it, a guy named Super Divorce. Now, that's kind of an interesting name. I'm interested to hear the backstory of that name, Super Divorce. But he took issue with a lot of the things that I pointed out, and really, to counter it, I'm not going to get into it, but to counter it, he really just gave his opinion on it, which is, read it for yourself, don't buy it, but, because I think that the book is trash, but he's an alright guy, go check out his channel, Super Divorce. I think he's better known for music. He does sort of like this 80s synth wave, and I sort of like his music, and I've seen some of I thumbed through his page, and he did a few comic book reviews, but he'll do kind of obscure comic books like I was doing a while back when I stopped buying Marvel and DC. But anyway, okay, video starts. Go check out his video. He's not a bad guy. We just have a differing opinion. We're not beefing. We're not mad at each other. I don't think I'm not mad at him. But yeah, go check out his channel. And he said he's going to do a review of Sierra Muerte as well. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe there's a brilliance to it that I missed, but I don't think so. But anyway, I paid $5.99 or $4.99 for this, and I paid $4.99 for Sierra Muerte, which is in the recycler in many different pieces because it made me that mad. It literally made me mad for a good 2 hours. Yeah, it was that bad. But anyway, I paid the same price. This is Marvel. Yes, it's supposed to be a higher level. Well, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be a slightly higher level than IDW, but for the same price, this was drastically better. This is miles away better. Your boy Chip Zdarsky, who, he sort of hates the Comicsgate movement, and he's come out against it, but for the guys who love quality in comic books, they want to get entertainment value for their money, Chip Zdarsky is one of the better writers going right now. And I would dare to say he's better than Donny Cates right now, because Donny Cates, as I've said before, it feels like Donny Cates is overworked, and he's just pumping out so much that it's not to the quality that he can write. Chip Zdarsky doesn't have that much on his plate, so the stuff that he does, he has exactly the amount of stuff on his plate that he needs. So he's doing a really good job on this. So starts out, I haven't picked up a DareDevil book in a while. Apparently he was mayor of New York, and then he was a lawyer, and now he's not a lawyer. I mean, the amount of times that he's been disbarred from being a lawyer is probably higher than Bill Clinton's. Probably way higher than Bill Clinton's. And the amount of times he's like risen and fallen financially is pretty drastic. But anyway, it just shows him here. It just seems like he's here talking to this woman, but is Daredevil. He's not going to do that. What he's doing is he's scouting these dudes back there, what they're talking about, what they're going to do, and still he winds up. He's Daredevil. He's a suave dude. He's still going to hook up with this. Here's credit where credit's due. Marco, I'm sorry, Checheto. Oh God, I'm sorry if I butchered that. You did a great job on art on this. Marvel needs to do more art like this because this is beautiful. The proportions are right, the figures are right, shadowing's right, there's backgrounds. Excellent book. I mean, it's a number 1. It should be on this level, but I want to see number 9 be on this same level. Anyway, but and this is the cool thing about the story is it kind of flashes back to when Matt could see and his father was alive, back to now, and he's talking about, he's thinking about his limitations. He's talking with her. This is a great panel, and I think to a lot of people this would be overlooked. The way that these shadow lines go across his eyes and go across his head kind of exemplify the situation he's in right now. Is that, he's blind, but he's blind in the sense that he hasn't been out on the streets and he doesn't really know what's going on. And he's got this one around his neck because of his injuries and because of Wilson Fisk is now the Kingpin is now the mayor, and he is given orders to arrest superheroes. So he's got, and maybe I'm looking too much into this, but I think this is really great symbolism in the art, and I'm maybe the writer said, hey, do this, make sure this is in there. But I would love to know who made the call on this panel, because I think it's a really great panel, and it's subtle. It's a subtle type of storytelling that I just like. Good job on that. This is what a Marvel comic should be like in 2019. Skip thing. Yeah, I got to skip a couple pages so I don't get the copyright strike gods mad at me. So the dudes, it kind of flips back and forth between times. So this dude is investigating. Basically, Daredevil did his thing, and he struck back against those guys who got away with murder. And it shows the dynamic of these cops. Like, a new cop and an older cop the new cop wants to report it because one of the guys said Daredevil, even though he didn't see him. And this is the business as usual cop. The rookie is like, I should report this as Daredevil. He knows if he says Daredevil, that's going to raise some crazy flags, and there's going to be a lot of work coming down. This is a new police chief. I don't know who this is exactly, but he's basically above them, and he's like, he's hard ass about this. So he gets to the bottom of it. He's seeing clues, and he's a good detective. They show that he's a good detective. He's seeing things that they didn't see in it. Cut to this. Once again, it explains like this. It goes into religion a bit, and you guys, I'm an atheist, so I don't really care about that stuff. But it's very poignant in talking with the discussion between the preacher and young Matt Murdock after he's been, blinded. And it's a really good story about violence and using violence and how it becomes addictive. And a lot of this stuff with the preacher has to do with that. Once again, another really cool thing is, I know this has been done before in movies and books, but it just shows it integrates quickly how he sees the world, the things that he has to do to see the world. He has to touch something, and it makes sound waves. He's back at it again, so getting back into it. Okay, gimmicks. I'm sick of the number ones. I could get into that, but it would take too long. This gimmick of blah, blah, blah kills the Marvel Universe, stop it. Stop turning Frank Castle into Ghost Rider, into Deadpool. Stop doing that. It's such a gimmick, and it's so silly billy and stupid. So Daredevil goes out, and I gotta skip some stuff. He goes out and he thwarts just a breaking and entering of a liquor store. And it shows in this fight, and it's a pretty good fight scene. It bounces between what's actually happening and the way he sees it, the way Daredevil sees it. And it shows, once again, he didn't just jump in there and handle everything, no problem, just kick everybody's butt without breaking a sweat. It shows he's injured, he's weaker, he's rusty in his fight, so he makes mistakes, and these three thugs, these three criminals, take a lot more effort and take a lot more out of him than normally would for Daredevil. Plus, he's sloppy. A fire starts. One of these dudes gets hit pretty hard, and he gets knocked down a couple times. But it shows that this character has to overcome something, and that's what we want to see our characters do, especially our street level character. He's not a god. He's gonna trip on things. He's gonna make mistakes. Now, Daredevil at his best may seem like an avenging angel, but this is Daredevil coming off of an injury, getting back into it. And it's really great to see a street level character written like this. Okay, free comic. You guys get what's on this page? Should I show you on this page? Is there anything significant? Once again, the next page, I'm skipping some stuff so I don't, and I want to get to the story at the end. The story at the end is so good. Here's a free comic. HTWR. There you go. Get the rest of it right there. Oh, I gotta clean my fingernail. Gross. I've been in the garden. Sorry you had to see that. I'm not sure I like this. A gamer verse of Marvel Universe. Who knows? Might be good. We'll see. So we get to the point, and this is kind of like the epilogue of it. It shows the investigation. the things that are going on. These guys are firing a proton pack into this building to finish it off. No, I'm kidding. That's just artistic. The investigation of that, of what happened here. And you get Wilson Fisk getting his nipples all hard because he finally gets a report on Daredevil. And this is what, this is the driving force behind why he wanted to become mayor, so he could stamp out these heroes and their sort of vigilantism. And once again, just like the great allegories of comic books, of Marvel Comics, like Civil War, you can see neither side is exactly wrong and neither side is exactly right, because the heroes are taking the law to a degree in their own hands, and you see the conflict between those two things. This is a good start. This is good. I wish Marvel would stop doing this number one thing so much, because you wind up with Legacy number 613, and it's just, stop doing it, Marvel. Please stop doing it. Let's go back to the numbers, or just go from here forward. Okay, when you change creative staff, don't do the dumb gimmick of another number one just because you change creative staff. Okay, so this, I'm assuming, because I only see Chip Zdarsky on this, I'm assuming he wrote and drew this whole thing, because Chip Zdarsky is an artist as well, as a writer. He's got kind of an old school Marvel style in his writing, or in his drawing, but I was a little confused when I first saw this, and then I realized what he was doing, the experimentation of what he was doing. He's telling a story on this scene, the visual story, the story you and I would watch. Here, because there's all this other stuff in the background, and he finally keys in on what this guy is saying in a different color. That's the thing that catches his ear. This is how Matt Murdock sees it. He doesn't see the words. He doesn't see the newspaper. All he sees is that something is blocking sound coming from there. And then as he picks up on it, he focuses in. He moves the paper away. He's like, okay, let me focus in on what this dude's saying. It's a very quick story. This is like a 4-page story, and it's excellent. So he goes, as you see right here, this same scene, he sees it differently. He has to clang on something. He comes in the room, and he can hear the hot and the cold water running through these pipes. So he knows there's something there that he can clang against, and from clanging that, he gets a radar view. He gets to see, okay, there's glass here. It's buzzing. There's a wall there. There's somebody there. So he has to get when this confrontation happens, he has to get another view of the room. So he throws his baton to knock out the light, basically making him blind too, and giving him another bounce of sound waves so he knows what's going on. Awesome storytelling. This is the best storytelling you could probably do with 4 pages. If an editor comes to you and says, hey, you got 4 pages to fill on the back of this, or even if Chip Zdarsky asks, hey, can I have 4 pages to do a short story? That's about as good as it gets. That's excellent storytelling, and it's a twist on a narrative that's really productive. I like the way it went. Chip Zdarsky, once again, he's still making really good comics right now. Keep doing it, man. Chip Zdarsky, if you're listening to this, keep doing what you're doing. It's great. But anyway, hit a like and hit a subscribe. Go check out my boy Super Divorce. He's got some pretty cool music. Look at this. Look at what I'm babysitting for the week. So this is Moose. He's going to be doing the reviews with me this week, although he didn't do a whole lot in this one. But he's not my dog. I'm just renting him, babysitting him for the week. But that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Y'all go out and find something great this weekend and enjoy yourself. Let's say bye to Moose. We're going to close in on his nose, his sniffer.